Coach, good morning. How are you?
Greeny and Golick, good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
We are well. It's a pleasure to have you, and we personally were thrilled to hear that you are keeping the 5 minutes early rule alive.
No question. You know, we're all trained over here to get a 5-minute jump start on everything, and we're going to stick with it.
How long did it take the players to really kind of embrace that?
Well, you know, this is only my third year. I was here 2 years with Tom, and everyone was pretty much trained when they walked through the door. And in my first meeting with Tom, when I came in, I noticed the clocks were all 5 minutes ahead, and his message to me was don't mess with the clocks.
But it certainly also brings up another interesting and maybe larger point. I mean, you're a young guy, young coach, your first opportunity. You've had this chance now for the last couple of years to be an assistant under a guy who will probably wind up in the Hall of Fame. What aside from the 5 minutes, what's the one thing you think you learned from Tom Coughlin that'll be the most beneficial to you going forward?
Well, just his discipline. You know, he's very consistent. He was always the first guy in the building in the morning and set the tone with his energy and his consistency. And that's something I need to learn from and lead with.
So you are the leader now, and you said you've been there 2 years. And while Eli Manning's number, we've seen them improve, the team overall has been 6-10. So now you are responsible for the entire team. So that being said, what are the first couple of areas you think these things need to change?
Well, the first thing we need to do, and what we're starting with today, is we're going to have our first staff meeting here in about in an hour, and we're going to get together, and we have some guys coming in to do some interviews. We have about half our staff full right now, and we have to fill that up with high integrity men, and start there. After that, we need to take a look at the game plans. We're going to go through our game plans 1 through 16, take a look at those offense, defense, special teams, and then start our self-scout, look at the cut-ups, and study everything from, you know, our first and second down to our situations to, you know, the personnel, and see how it all ties in, and come up with a plan, and then put that plan into practice when we hit OTAs in Phase 1 and Phase 2 in the mini camps.
Ben McAdoo is the new coach of the Giants. He's with us here this morning. I guess a question on that would be, as those who watch your season saw, you were 6-10, and I know this doesn't count for anything, but you were probably a dozen plays away from being 10-6 or better. Can you put your finger on one thread of commonality of why this team lost so many games late the way it did?
Well, you know, that's our theme going forward. Our theme is evolution, not revolution. And you know, we feel that we have a good foundation here in place. We have good coaches, we have good players, we have an outstanding organization operated with class, and when we hit the ground running here on our studies, you know, we're going to get a lot more information on who we are, who we think we are, and who we actually are on tape. And it's all about our tape. And to me, it's about our identity moving forward. We want to be sound, smart, and tough, committed to discipline and poise, and that's where, you know, it needs to show up on the practice field. It needs to show up on the film of our practices, and it needs to show up on game day. But at the end of the game, it's not just one area. It's not just two areas. We need to play complementary football. Our offense, defense, and special teams, we all need to play together and not against each other.
Now, you use the word poise in there, and you have a player on your team who is arguably as talented as any in the NFL, but did at times struggle with maintaining his poise, and that's Odell Beckham Jr. What conversations have you had with him, or do you anticipate having with him about that particularly?
Yeah, Odell and I have had some conversations, and we'll continue to do that. And it really comes down to focusing on the task at hand, you know, regardless of any distractions out there. And they could be professional distractions, it could be personal distractions, getting caught up in your one-on-one matchup instead of playing the game, and also being, you know, being uncomfortable in pressure situations. And, you know, that goes for the entire team, not just Odell, but you know, that's a process that we're going to have to work through, and you know, there'll be conversations that we have moving forward as well.
Giants head coach Ben McAdoo joining us. And so now, as you oversee the entire team, your focus was the offense and, in particular, Eli Manning. And we know if you're really going to go anywhere in this league, you got to have that quarterback. And Eli's had a couple of excellent years. And I'm sure before you coached him, you obviously watched him, either seen him or watched tape on him. He's had 2 big years now. Where did you see the most improvement in his game, and where can he go?
Well, Eli broke my heart twice in 2007 and 2011. He got after us pretty good up there in Green Bay, and we had some tough losses there in the postseason. So coming here, it was exciting to have the opportunity to work with him. I feel he finished stronger this year than he did last year. Being in a lot of tight games, he had some impressive numbers this year and improved there. We want to continue to work on taking care of the football better. 14 interceptions this year. We feel we can get that down a little bit, complete the ball a little bit better. But, he finished the year healthy. He finished the year strong. He knows the offense inside and out now, and going forward with his third year in the offense, we expect things to really take off, and we got to play a little bit better around Eli too.
I think the perception, as we've seen a lot of the head coaching vacancies filled with offensive coaches like yourself, many of them seem to have been specifically directed at the relationship between that coach and the quarterback. So take us a little more deeply into that, if you can, Coach. Take us to that relationship. How intimately does a quarterback and the offensive coordinator work together? And take us just a little bit into the relationship you've had with Eli.
A lot of it, is the way you start the week. You start the week in a game plan week. Eli and I would get together and talk about what he sees, what he likes, what he wants to throw. Because at the end of the day, it's you can draw up anything you want and try to beat a scheme any way you want, but it's what the quarterback's comfortable throwing and how you can get him into rhythm and get his confidence going and get the guys around him playing well. And at the end of the week, you talk about the plan and how you want to attack and make sure you're always on the same page. You have to adjust during the course of the game, obviously, but going into the game, there should be no surprises for that quarterback early in the game. Everything should be flowing naturally. He should be able to anticipate, the call coming out of your mouth as it's coming into his headset. But then, you look at it, the relationship really starts, when you first get back together in phase one, where you have a chance to watch the cut-ups and evaluate them. And then you go through and you talk through the fundamentals when you get on the field. And really that's, any player, especially the quarterback, anytime that you have a chance to polish them up fundamentally and give them a chance to play better and be more productive, I think the relationships grow and get stronger and improve over time.
Since you've been named head coach, have you had any conversations with Tom Coughlin? If so, what can you share from those conversations?
Yes, Tom and I have talked. He's been in and out of the building, and I'd rather leave those personal conversations personal.
All right, then let's get to the really important stuff.
Yes, big stuff.
The schleppiest collection of people on the planet are sports writers. And every one of them had something to say about the suit that you wore to your press conference where you were introduced. Were you surprised by the reaction, and what, if anything, do you plan to do with the wardrobe going forward?
There were conversations about my suit.
Did those not reach you?
No, I know. I'm just I'm messing with you a little bit. Yeah, you know what? I guess I'm surprised it got that much attention. I take it as a compliment. I worked really hard over the last year to get in a little better shape, a little better condition. So I'll take that as a compliment. Get
those taken in a little bit. And I'll tell you what, I want every single person who wrote a column about that to take a photo of themselves and tweet it. And let's just see how stylish. Exactly. Not a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo's running around.
Absolutely.
Coach, we very much appreciate the time, and thank you, and best of luck to you going forward. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
All right, Greeny, go look. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Coach.
Take care, Coach. That's Ben McAdoo, new coach of the New York Giants. That just cracked me up. I mean, the conversation about the suit, for some reason, I don't know why I found that as funny as I did. I found it very funny.
Was, like you said, coming from sports writers.
Yeah.
As well. Like he said, listen, I've been working. He's been dropping some weight, getting in shape, and now he's got to get the suits that fit that, right?
That's obviously the least significant part of what we're talking about here. I mean, he sounds like a football coach. You wanted the second he started talking, you used to say, all right, that's what a football coach sounds like.
Yeah.
And look, I thought he did a great job. That's a team, I know I've said it a million times, they should have won 10 games this year. They were right there to win 10 games next year. My preseason pick going ahead to next year, well, we would sit and do it. I like them the best of any team in that division going forward because I think they have the most important pieces in place, better than everybody else does.
Yeah,
they've got Eli. They got a dynamic weapon for him to throw to, do a couple of little things on the defense. I think they could be very good next year.
I'd say Dallas is in that position as well when you bring everybody back healthy. As far as just, I'm not making any picture, just looking at personnel in place at the big positions, I think they're right there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see going forward.